Action Activate.
Hi there, ho there, it's me, Gazbot, for Action Activate. And I'm Gazbot, and this is Action Activate. And with me, as always,
it is the big dog, and we are here to start a new fan series review. I'm excited. We have talked about for the last few weeks, periodically, the new Power Rangers Beast Hunters, which premiered last Friday from when we're recording, November 14th. Today is the 18th for us, on YouTube. And not only have we got a chance to talk to Zenith Films at Power MorphCon, very cool people. Shout out to them.
We have an interview you can check out with them in our backlog.
Yes, please go watch that and obviously go support them. But I was, one thing I sometimes forget when we're reviewing is I get tunnel vision where I just watch the thing. Do you know how many views they got in less than a week?
Oh, I don't, but I'm going to look right now. 143,000 in 4 days.
Congratulations, you guys. Yeah. That is amazing. I was kind of like, whoa. So obviously people want Ranger content. So thank you for providing it to us. Absolutely. One thing we also have talked about mostly since reviewing the series from Zenith Films is we always say any of these fan films, we appreciate you watching us. Yeah. Go watch it there.
Go watch them. Yeah, don't watch our review and not and we're not. Sometimes we watch it, do a watch along. We watch this ahead of time. So I'm probably going to put it up in the background a little bit, but you should never watch it for the first time with us.
Yes.
But even that's more so. Now
part of the reason we watched it ahead of time was to keep in line with that, where we could just kind of talk about it. We could jump around and hopefully it incentivizes you to go watch it if you haven't already. But with that in mind, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, we had talked about it's funny. We had reviewed the song. Somebody had said, hey, you guys should review the song. And we did. And the recording is gone. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was corrupted. It's gone. But we had done it. But we did do a review of the trailer. And so my first impression is similar to what I said about the trailer and the song, and you did too, I believe, where it's like, without getting into, I liked it. I'll just say that, but without getting into the specifics of the episode, it just felt fun and good and exciting. It felt like a new season of Power Rangers, a new season of Sentai, a new Ultraman series, whatever that thing is. That first episode it's not necessarily the best, but it's always the most exciting because here's the theme song, here's the new characters. Oh, I get to see the new villains. Here's the setup. It's always fresh and exciting. And I had that feeling 100% like, oh, a new season of Power Rangers is out. And that was my first impression for sure.
I agree with a lot of those sentiments where one thing I want to say, especially for this review, everything I say in this review is not putting down any previous Zenith film stuff, because I'm going to do a lot of comparisons simply because we have watched a lot of their stuff in a shorter amount of time since when they released it, but they're continuously improving. And I like Gem Paladins, I like Rail Riders, and I like this. This is showing me that they're taking a lot of the feedback and learning from themselves as they produce these new series. And also each series feels more and more like Power Rangers as we knew it. And I mean that in the best way, where you get so immersed. Some things are a little bit corny, some things are over the top, but just in the right way where you're like, that's what Power Rangers is. It was.
Yes, I agree. And we're jumping around. I'm putting it at quarter speed, no sound, just have something going on here. The sound of the dialogue was crisp and clear and very understandable throughout. I don't know how much ADR they did or didn't do, but there was no problem understanding any dialogue whatsoever, which is a huge thing for even the best production sometimes. So I give them credit for that, number one. I wanted to mention something dumb here.
Oh, I'm going to say the same thing.
Okay, what were you going to say?
You first.
They all have their back to the camera, except for White's profile.
And it's like partially cut off because of the green screen.
Oh no! Wow. Usually I'm the one that nitpicks about the CGI. Let me take a look.
And that's one, like, it's just turn a little bit. It was unfortunate. I did notice it. But I do love the intro. I definitely
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, me too. But okay, so you were looking at it from a production eye. I was looking at it from a storytelling eye. Like, why is she not like everyone else is like this, but she's like this? Why? What's going on with her character? Does that mean something?
I think, as we see in this episode, we're going to jump around a lot. So
Yeah,
spoilers already here. You should already watch it before listening to these jabronis.
for sure.
She
For
is the moral, not even moral compass, but she is the glass overwhelmingly full, even
There we
if
go.
there's not water in it, kind of mood on the team, where she is the one who brings everybody together. She is that.
She gives the new Red Ranger a chance first, and yeah, I agree with that. But you think that has something to do with why she's posed the way she is?
No, I think that, pose aside, it's unfortunate that the green screen chopped her head a little bit, just because there were only, I think, like 2 moments in this entire episode where I was taken out for a, like, production related thing where I was like, "Oh," and again, that's not saying I didn't like the episode. I love the episode. But there were choices, that being
Mhm.
one of them, where I personally didn't like it, but I'm just curious why certain choices were
Mhm.
made. The other one that we'll get into is, I love the morphing sequence. I
Me
love,
too. And
as they get into the morph, the pattern around it, that is
I would like
amazing.
to talk. The people who did the effects were Seth Films, who I thought did all of them, but looking at the credits, Common Ramen did some too.
Mhm.
But I would love to talk to them to see what they did versus which was Sentai and how much they
Yeah.
matched it. Well, I have a few questions there, but it looks great. I agree.
Yes, it does.
Real quick, going back to treating this like a real Power Ranger season, just like other Power Ranger seasons, I was annoyed that we see him as the Red Ranger. Because like what, let that be in episode 2. Like now you know what's going to happen, and I don't like that. But I say that about quote unquote real Power Rangers all the time. So I
Every single
guess
time, yeah.
good job spoiling it the same way Power Ranger spoils it.
No, this was a Power Ranger opening through and through. Everything
Yeah.
about it, the way it was paced, the clips you decide to use, everything
Yes.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Again, just continually improving, because we also love the Rail Riders one, and this one again just polished a little bit more.
It would
Choices were
be.
made a little more specifically. Like,
I will say, yeah, a lot of the polish and the production. Overall, it's like the cleanest we've seen here. That being said, after one episode, to be clear, I think I still like Rail Riders better.
Rail Riders is much more a U series, because similar to what we've talked about with both Ranger series and Sentai series,
Yeah,
the goofy ones hold a special place in your heart more than me.
that's what I
That
agree.
doesn't mean I don't like them, but like,
Right, and it
you're
doesn't mean I don't
biased
like
to
this
those.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like a little goof. Yeah,
This, I was gonna say, it felt like the jokes, every joke in here, I liked and didn't take me out of it, where it
agreed.
wasn't like, for lack of a better term, Ninja Steel era humor, where you're like, you didn't have to put a joke in. Like, these, they
Yes.
made sense.
Yeah, and even as someone who likes the jokier, campier stuff, we've both had a couple critiques of some of the jokes in past productions. Not one joke made me groan.
Yep.
Some were better than others, but none of them were like that was bad. That took me out of it. The bad ones were like standard Power Rangers, Spider-Man quips as they're fighting. So yeah, I think they really adjusted the knobs on the humor just right for this.
I also, speaking of that, I felt like the both the quality of the voiceovers and the scripting of the voiceovers for the fights that we see in suit were,
Yes.
I would argue, the best we've seen from them.
I
Like,
think so too, and that's part of what I was talking about, where they sort of found that like quippy without being too corny. But yeah, I agree.
another thing we've said on, not just Zenith Films, but other productions that we've reviewed as well, is I really appreciate when we get to see this kind of quality from fans who are really passionate about it. That
Mhm.
just goes to show that people who make excuses of, oh, well, they didn't have this budget for the official series, or that, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Th-
matter.
This, this, if you showed me this blind, I'd go, did Hasbro just like not use certain things here? Like, this is a Power Ranger series that you
Yeah.
could show this to people and be like, this Power Rangers, and then go, okay, it's a full episode. It's got everything that I know in Power Rangers. Like,
And just devil's advocate, they do have a Patreon. They did get some amount of money for this. I don't know how much. They got some non-zero amount of money for this. This isn't their first production. They've been doing stuff since they had zero money. So it's still not an argument. Even if you go, well, yeah, but they got, $100, $1,000, whatever they got for this. Fine, great. And they put it right back into the production, clearly. But they've been doing this since they had nothing. And it
Yep.
still looked better than, certain
Yeah,
other.
this is a prime example of what I'd show to people who are like, "Oh, Power Rangers is bad. Power Rangers can't be good in this and that." It can be good. You just need people behind the helm who understand what they're making. This is
Yeah.
a Power Rangers show. It
Yes.
feels like Power Rangers. It looks like Power Rangers. It acts like Power Rangers. It is Power Rangers. It is a perfect proof of concept of how you would adapt other series that
Yeah.
Hasbro or Bandai or whoever decided not to do, and it is a prime example of money isn't the root of a good series.
That's true for sure. But I'll also say it also, and we don't know how many episodes this is gonna be. They may have said it, I don't remember. But their seasons are short because it's like this underground guerrilla production. Could it be a few more episodes longer? Sure. But it's also proof that, because Sentai is going separate from Power Rangers, is like going through its own thing now where they're kind of changing, canceling, whatever, however you want to describe it. It doesn't need to be 50 episodes. It doesn't need to be 30 episodes. Most TV nowadays is getting shorter. And so there's like no filler in these Zenith film adaptations. So you could take a season of, 30 episodes of Sentai, cut it down to 10 and tell the whole story and better, and that's one of the advantages they have. Like I was surprised they had, and I haven't watched Zoosher,
I
which
haven't
is
either.
based on, but I would assume that Zoo of the World, who they call the Apex Ranger here, is like the sixth ranger that shows up later. He starts right in the beginning because they're like, well, we only got a little bit of time and whatever, and that's fine. I was surprised, but I wasn't like, this ruins it. It was like, okay, that's what we're doing. Oh, I forgot. I paused here because there's this villain with the green. She looks to me like another villain, like recolored or reformatted. Does that like maybe somebody from
Can you do a
Megaforce?
one shot?
Oh yeah,
Just so I can see it up close. When I only saw the side profile, it looks like Camille from Jungle Fury.
the colors match up, but that's not who I'm thinking of. I feel like it was like the Robo version of what's her name in Super Megaforce?
I don't know.
Die. You didn't watch it, so you're not gonna remember.
I watched bits and pieces of it.
In,
I
in
watched the
Mega
episode Casey was in.
in Megaforce, there was um the villain couple essentially, and
Vrac? No,
no,
Vrac
not
is
no, not Brad.
Megaforce.
Who was Wild Force Red that became the villain?
Oh, Decker.
Decker. Okay, so Decker and his love interest became monsters, and then later that monster in Super Mega Force became like a robot version of herself or something. I'm probably getting this wrong. Comments tell me. It's been a few years since I watched it, but anyway, I think that's who I'm thinking of. And I'm just wondering. Sometimes in Sentai they connect them and blah blah.
Yeah.
I thought you might know the answer. This went on way longer than I meant it to.
No. I again, like the things I can initially think of that really sucked me into this, and like
Yeah.
again, I needed to remind myself that like a team of fans made this in the best way, is the villain scene at the end and the ranger fight in the second half, where again I literally was just like sucked in, and like I started taking notes in the beginning, and then I realized like toward the end I'm like I forgot
I
because I
had to
was
keep
just so
pausing to take notes. It took me way more than a half hour to watch this. This whole opening, what does it remind you of?
RPM.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh no, sorry. Evil Dead, Sam Raimi. It
Oh,
looks like they got the camera on a plank. They're going through the forest, and then I was thinking that, and then even when he catches it, it becomes like this fast motion, sped up, kind of
yeah.
slapsticky. I'm like, this is Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi right here. I have to believe that's intentional as a filmmaker. That this was a little homage to that. And if not, then unintentionally you made an Evil Dead scene.
No, now that you bring it up, Ninja Steel point to you. Now that you bring it up, it does remind me of a Sam Raimi kind of scene, especially with the plot of it. One thing that confused me, so he's capturing the whale here, right?
This confused me too. The Zord. I didn't know it was a whale Zord, but whatever that Zord was. When he opens it later, he's like, whoa. I was like, is that a different bag? Or did he not know what he caught originally? Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, like that was one plot point that confused me. Just because again, we find out he's working for the villains, but he isn't villainous and all this. Um,
I
one
like
thing
his driving
also,
angles.
when he gets out of his truck with that knife, I'm like, this is
That was
cool.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a weird juxtaposition too, because you see Orange pop out like boink, and it was like a little funny moment. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut you." Like, wow,
Yeah.
wow, that escalated.
The fight between Orange and Red, I liked. I feel like it was just slightly too long because kind of like fighting in a box you can do, but the longer
Mhm.
it goes on, the more you're like, oh, this is you staged the fight, as opposed to like them doing
Yeah,
stuff. So from a martial arts perspective, I was like, it was a little long for me, but I still enjoyed it.
from a non-martial arts perspective, I agree. What I found, what I thought with almost all of the fights, the unmorphed fights that they filmed, I thought that the martial arts overall was the best I've seen in terms
Mhm.
of the moves being used, looking like it connected, the speed. Like there's a few things that weren't exactly perfect, but a lot of times you see like kind of almost slow motion fights or missing by 10 feet. Didn't see a lot of that. And this
Yeah,
fight, it really looked they were hitting each other. Like there was a lot, it looked really good, but I
yeah.
agree it went on a little too long. And I feel like I have that critique of a lot of these fights, which I feel bad because they're good, some of the best. But I just feel like if you cut to another scene or came back or did something, it would have worked a little
This
better.
was only one because we only had the two of them to focus on. Whereas the fight later,
Listen,
we got to cut between all the yeah, that was cool. The fight between all the Rangers, it broke it up a little bit more.
I love this when he's in the car. I
Yeah,
I I, I hope, and I haven't watched Jojo, so I don't know. I hope Orange gets his powers back
yeah,
because I like this guy. He's funny. He's a
yeah.
funny
I
character.
think you will. Um, as we continue through, I did like the cronies.
Me too.
I feel like the transition of American footage to Japanese footage, this was the cleanest of the transition of the two forms of the cronies.
I agree, and it was smart. Like they've done this before with like the supercharge worked really well, and the non Sentai version. I don't know if that's completely original or not, but I like it. It's a cool design.
Mhm.
Looks like a little
Yeah.
squid face. That crystal, it was either really good. The red crystal, it was
I think it
really good
was
at
the
catching the
special
light.
effects.
I was trying to like it because it was like, is that catching the light or are they actually enhancing it? Because that was always sparkling.
I think it was enhanced, and I thought that was a great choice because I noticed it too, and I'm like, oh, this is adding a lot of depth to these villains.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was really cool. And when um when a good effect, well, there's a lot. All the effects are good. Like
That sword it really grew on me this episode.
I don't I don't love the Minecrafty looking look of this season. That has nothing to do with Zenith films. But a lot of times I don't like the look of something and it ends up being my favorite. So that's neither here nor there.
What was
But
I was thinking of that when I was watching this by myself, or like what was another thing that we're both like, the toys of this, or like, the design of this I wasn't a big fan of, and then we watched the show and we're like, kind of like that thing now. And I can't remember.
was it Tokuger?
Maybe part of it was Tokyo. Maybe it was the Zords. I don't know.
Wild Force?
No, I love everything in Wild Force.
This villain I did not like at first, and I literally in my notes was like, "This guy is way overacting. This voice is ridiculous." I said it only makes sense if it turns out he's a monster in disguise, and he was. So now it's fine.
I
And
was
when I
gonna
saw him,
say I loved it.
I just didn't like it if he was a human, and he wasn't. So and then later when he comes up, he's like, "Hey everybody!" I'm like, now I like him because I understand the character.
For me, I had the same thought, but no reservations. Where I'm like, this guy is most definitely gonna be in a full suit later because there's no other reason he would have this voice.
Fair.
But yeah, this was good. I really like the way they use the effect of forgetting her name, but the main villain with the like weird little like
Yes,
tendril thing. That looked really cool.
the tendril I liked, and it was like fine in the sense that I didn't think about it. Like there's her power, but when it was pulling the eagle out, he's like, and you see the eagle. I'm like, oh, that was cool.
Also, great acting by him for all that stuff that
Yeah,
clearly like the thing
wasn't
that builds it
happening.
is the special effects, but like he did a great job of like I feel like an eagle is being ripped out of your chest right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the sparkles we were talking about.
Yeah,
And the
awesome job there.
digitization, again, I'm assuming that's mimicking what they did in the Sentai, but either way, it looks
Also,
clean.
can you go back 2 frames?
2 frames.
One more. There we
Back to
go.
orange.
Right.
Oh,
No, just so we can see them up close. One thing I also noticed, not only for the fights, but for shots like this, the camera angles from a filmmaking perspective, I feel like they've improved naturally and
Yes.
learning stuff, because that angle makes these look more menacing. It's not like, oh, these are some of the Rangers maybe dressed up like this because, you know, they're kind of playing
Yeah.
dual roles. No, I look and I'm like, these are the cronies. They're about to fight the Ranger. And like, it just helps with the immersion. And from, you know, a filmmaking perspective, I really appreciated some of the differences with this versus
Yeah.
some others that we saw in
I
previous
agree.
projects.
And it's more important here with the cronies. But I was even saying that in the driving scene, like the sort of up angle of the like
Yeah.
just more interesting choices for scenes that might not be super interesting otherwise. Now that we've said something nice, I'll say a critique. When they were in their human form, he mopped the floor with them. I'm like, oh, now they're powered up, and he still mops the floor with them. He didn't have any effort, and then they power him up again, and then he has to transform. But like, I would have liked to see him have more trouble, like as a human fighting their powered up mode. Like, not that he gets beat, but maybe just sweat a little. Maybe one of them gets in a headlock. Like, I felt like, I don't know, they powered up and it didn't seem to make any difference. Like the fight was still interesting looking, but storytelling wise,
To me, I took it less as he is too overpowered and more she is too overpowered, where they built it up and he fought them untransformed, fought them
Mhm.
transformed, then had to fight him super transformed. And the whole time she's just like, power, power, power. By the way, let me steal your powers. And she is like, I don't know how they're going to take her down.
Right.
The,
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what the Sentai one is. If you took it from that, it's a cool design from there. If you didn't, holy crap,
But it
great
looks
choices.
it looks exactly like watching, like, I'm gonna say like Dino Charge or something. Because again, it's an American one that, like where it's just like, oh yeah, this is what they do. And this here, again, has to still be custom done. Like you could tell that's him in that suit. This is the real guy. And then at some point, right about here, it merges to the Sentai, and it's pretty seamless.
So here's my second critique of the whole thing. Let's go back a little bit during this morph. Everything here, love it, love it. Wait, I don't love that part.
Because it's not lined up properly.
Yes, and it happens with most of the Rangers. And I think as a choice, it would have been better if you edit it to have like a flash of light where you don't have to worry about that, or just skip straight to it, because that was another part that took me out of it where I'm like, oh, that's lined up incorrectly, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is weird.
You because first I'm like, maybe it's just with him. And then I noticed it on the other Rangers. And again, didn't completely take me out of this and go, oh, you didn't line it up. I'm done.
And going back to it being like real Power Rangers, if you're a kid watching this, you'd never notice that in a million years.
Yeah, that is, again, we love you guys. I'm being objective, because if I wasn't, I'd be like, there were no problems. Everything was 110%. I never have any critiques ever. No, I want to be fair. And that was one where obviously it can't be changed, but as a choice, I think if that changed, then it would have that full Power Rangers feel of like, there's nothing that took me out of this. This is the Ranger morphing.
Yeah, I mean, it is a nitpick, but you're not incorrect. But weirdly, I think it bothered you more than it bothered me. Because I think you're absolutely right, but I don't know if I even noticed it the first time necessarily. So
I noticed it here, and then I noticed it later because I was looking for it.
Later, I had the thought of, and not that it was really bad, but like, I like how he reassembles here. I know it's Sentai, but I also want to know why he was orange and then the new guy is red, even though they're both eagle, and he got the, like it's This is that's what we were talking about with the green energy.
Yeah. And again, that was seamless where I'm like, if this was randomly on, I'm like, oh, what episode of Power Rangers you watching?
Yeah.
Or is this Kamen Rider? Like, all of this is superb.
And the bird's like flapping. It's not just like an image. Like, it looks like it's a spirit freaking out. Like, it's
No, this looks amazing. Now he has to fight. And again, like, I also like how everybody kind of had their own style, but it wasn't necessarily like outlandish, where sometimes when you like lean into the theme, and Power Rangers would do this a lot, where it's like, I think of Wild Force as the direct comparison. Danny did some weird moves because he was the bison. Like, sometimes it would be cool and other times it wouldn't be.
Yeah, these all seemed like real fighting styles as opposed to one they made up for the superhero. And I don't know styles as much as you did, but the obvious one is the Elephant Ranger, who was a boxer.
Yeah.
And like they were showing his fancy footwork, and it was like, oh, that kind of makes sense if he's the elephant, he's just kind of charging, and but I agree. I did like they had distinct fighting styles.
Yeah. No, and again, it was enough where it gave the character that little bit that was unique to them, but it
Yeah.
didn't be like, now I have to use my special trunk move. You're
Right.
like, no, I'm
Yeah.
punching you. I'm
It's my
punching these
ear
bad
flap
guys.
maneuver.
Yeah, exactly. Um, also, again, jumping around a little bit, I do like how the exposition we
Oh, this
get
is
in
yeah. Sorry,
that
go ahead.
yeah, the exposition we get in regards to this, I thought was done well. Where later on, Red goes to the base with everybody, and they're like, we've been a team for a year. This isn't our first rodeo. We've been trying to fight these guys, and now you're here, and blah blah. And I like how it wasn't like, I always think of like older X-Men comics that do it, where
Yeah.
it was so like
Yes.
episodic. It's like, remember last week when we went to the mansion and the alien invaders came and
Listen,
we
I
get
know
to
you're a
see.
mutant and the world scorns you, but you have taken a vow to fight for them
Wait a
anyway.
minute, Wolverine, what do you mean that you have a healing factor? Well, you see,
Ever
back in
since
Tim,
Weapon X program.
but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I like how, again, this was
We're
accessible.
saying they didn't do that, to be
Yeah, no, they did it much better. I like how this is accessible. I don't think they swear in this, but this feels like PG for the most
No,
part. So
the fact that he pulled the knife out made it feel PG right there.
yeah,
There
so
might have
this
been.
feels. Nah, I don't think they swore. But this is PG, but also it doesn't talk down to you.
No.
It's like, here's the story. We're not dropping F-bombs. We're not showing violence that, will get us demonetized, but here's the story. Follow it.
This is the part where he came back, and I like
really like that sword. Like, the more we saw it, the more I really liked it.
Oh, hey, go to Michael's apparently.
What else? That wave. I don't know why, as like kind of finishers, good villains or heroes, I love like a good energy wave effect. Like
Right.
I'm a sucker for it, man. So him doing that
I
each
did like the
time and
team
just getting,
showing up.
yeah, that was cool. Good team
Hey, it's
shot there.
us.
Yep.
He doesn't
And
look worried.
I like how they built out Blue here. Is like, once I saw Blue, I'm like, this is like a newer generation version of Jen from Time
Yeah,
Force
she's the
and
leader.
Taylor from Wild Force kind of put together.
Yeah, she's definitely. And yeah, because they even say when he's like, "Oh, you lost your leader," and she says something like, "I could be the leader," or words to that effect.
No, she's like, I'm the. Why am I not the leader? Like, I'm
Yeah,
clearly the.
yeah.
And I'm like, I agree, you are the leader.
Yes.
I really
I do.
liked Yellow.
What is this animal? Is it
I think it's a lion.
lion? Okay. Yeah, he just blasts in.
Yeah,
I was
like,
trying to
oh, go for it.
look at the thug he's about to get. They're just kind of idle animation here. Like,
Yeah.
here's this weird.
Yeah, I liked, for whatever reason, I was very drawn to his fights. I also liked
Boxing.
Green's fights. The boxing
Yeah.
was good. And again, these angles, keeping it tight to show the punches. You don't see like any big gaps or anything. It was good pace. I also liked how multiple Rangers used the villain's weapons in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I
we
noticed that
sometimes
too.
we see it. We're like, oh, I take it and I break it in half and I throw it and I go back to
Right.
punching
They
you.
were all like, okay, I'll use a weapon.
Yeah,
I may have said this. Did you know she has a shark tooth necklace?
I
Blue?
did. I noticed that later, and I thought that was a nice touch. Costume wise, I really like the costume choices for everybody. Where again, it's Power Ranger costumes, but he has the ripped sleeves because he's a little
Yeah.
more animalistic parkour when he's running around, and you
Are they
see
ripped?
white.
I thought they just were sleeveless.
I mean, sleeveless. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, yeah.
She has a skirt which is a little more flowy because her style's a little softer. Like again, all the Blue has a leather jacket because she's the Raphael. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. This is such a small thing, but I something I've noticed in other
I
productions.
think I know what you're gonna say, but keep going.
When she defeats him, she stabs and very clearly like stops herself.
Yeah.
And I'm ragging on you, but I've seen it in like Hollywood movies. You know what I mean? Like, and I never understand. It was a one shot, so because first I'm like, why wouldn't they just like? But okay, so you see, she knocks so the other actor is on the ground right there. So obviously you don't want to bang it into the actor, but couldn't you do on the ground next to them?
Yeah, or in front of
maybe
you.
they have a mat on the ground that they pick up, or a watermelon, and just something because it's so obvious. She stops herself, and then in the next one, like pulls it up from nothing, and it's a little thing, but it looks so
No,
obvious.
it got me too. I think it just needed more depth.
Yeah.
Because again, there is, even if the crony was on the ground, you still have that room to do it. So that, again, minor nitpick, but
Yeah.
still good fight overall. And again, it's a long fight. This one, I was like, how many more guys you fighting? Like, let's see, because right here, especially with 6 Ranger, or I guess in this fight it's 5. Yeah, it's 5.
It's fine. Yeah,
Where
because they're missing
everybody gets
like
highlighted.
one of
So
them.
one thing
I
I
like
will
that
say,
energy effect right there off the gun.
the energy effect is cool. This has nothing to do with Zenith Films.
Okay.
I don't like the fishing rod weapon.
Yeah, it looks like a big piece of plastic.
I just from the Sentai, I don't like it.
No,
Like I
I'm saying
looked and I'm
because,
like,
but I feel like that's true of all of the weapons. They all are kind of blocky, pixelated. That's just what they are.
but
Which
that one the blocky ones, it goes for Minecraft. I get it. That one, like I like the flashlight. I think that's a cool morpher. But yeah, for whatever reason, the fishing line until it's a sword, I'm like, I don't like this.
okay. I don't love the weapons or the Zords in this season. Again, it has nothing to do with the Zenith. I do like the morphers though. I actually have one of those, like what they have, the
I
Japanese
have the flashlight. I don't think I have the block box.
block is the only one I have. I went through a phase a couple years ago. You probably remember where like every time a Sentai season went off the air, all of their stuff would be like half price or less on Amazon, and I just bought everything that made layer sound.
I didn't buy I think I'm missing the main morpher from this, and then I have most of, like I have Ninja. I have keep wanting to say Jim Paladins because I can't remember Kira Major.
Yeah, I
I
don't have
have
like
that.
Cure Major is about when I started to slow down on buying everything.
Well, I got that at Morphicon last year, so it was
Oh yeah, but
and honestly, I bought it because of Zenith Films. So
there you go.
yeah.
Now okay, they're going into the morph. This looks cool. There's
Again, right here.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Now this is. I was looking at their faces for half a second. I thought they were CGI rendered heads in this part, but I don't think so. Okay, but yeah, I see what you mean. Like some line up better than others. Like yellow looks pretty good. Green is way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, green is the worst one in terms of lining up, but it still looks good though.
What seeing Apex Ranger in action, seeing the different modes, that's another thing I love. When we as an audience get to see a Ranger for the first time use like most of their powers, like seeing him go through all the modes, was it necessary? Absolutely not. Did I love it? Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is again back to, we're watching Sentai footage, but the script and the delivery of the lines was what it needed to be. It wasn't too over the top. It worked.
The other thing I liked is that big monster. We have not heard of that monster.
No, correct.
Didn't matter. I was like, yeah, there's a
monster of the week.
It makes sense that they're fighting these guys and a monster shows up halfway through the fight. Sure.
Yeah.
So good use of splicing, because I'm assuming this is multiple episodes. Good use of splicing this together. Kind of like we said, of consolidating a season. The big roar, I loved that. At first, I thought it was for comedy, and then when I saw them do like their like super dino beast mode or whatever it is,
that reminded me when Orange was fighting, he jumped up and there was a screech of the eagle, which I also liked. The Beast Unleashed mode, that's what it is. Yeah. I like the concept of the Beast Unleashed. Now, this is again Sentai. I like the concept of the Beast Unleashed mode. I don't like these stompy boot feet. They look silly to me.
I politely disagree with you. I think that it's fine.
I don't mind that his power up is stompy boot feet, but it doesn't look, it should be like a solid, like a Mega Man boot or a Spawn boot. It looks like there's a platform and then a big sock going up. And again, that's not Zenith Films, but I was like, this is cool. Oh, what's with those feet? It was literally how my mind went.
I didn't.
Okay.
Here goes again, this flashlight. I'm about it. That less so. That I liked. When he spun it, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Seeing the different helmet
I like
modes
this
is cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. All this I like. He even when I first saw this concept of a Ranger before, I'm like, I love this. And they need to make a figure that scales with my other figures, and I don't know if they did, but
I have a vinyl of this that's roughly 6 inches.
I think I have a vinyl too. I think I got it at Morphicon. I got some vinyls for like Rangers that I've seen in fan films now.
Right.
Where I think I'm gonna just make like a little, extended universe display of vinyls.
I didn't notice until these later scenes that this blocky guy has like human teeth essentially. They're really cool. I like it. I like the design of this monster a lot.
Yeah, I do as well. So one thing, and again, it's less of a critique and more of a question. So that fight we talked about was cool and long, and then they morphed and it was cool and long. But it seems like these two, have been waiting around for like 10 minutes, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we need you to morph now." That
Yeah.
part didn't totally make sense timeline to me.
Yeah, well, this kind of goes. I agree, and this kind of goes back to some of the fights could have been edited a little bit differently to maybe cut back to them in between
I
talking. You
think
got
we
to get
needed
in there.
one or two things of them, like maybe
Yeah,
some thing of like, "I need you to be a ranger, but, let me explain to you how to do it," and then it cuts back to the fight or something just so we don't be like, "Oh, now you're going. Okay, cool."
right. I agree.
Um, I mean,
The wings on.
I'm always a sucker for Red Rangers. Out of these 5, which one would you wanna be? Like, if they're like, "Here, have these powers."
Oh, red. I mean, he's got the wings.
Yeah. I'd probably be Elephant, I'll be honest.
You want the boots?
I feel like we've talked about this before. I feel like I am often drafted as a tank, and I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
I typically wouldn't cast myself as a red, and I wouldn't even cast myself as a bird. But just I think those wings look cool, and I think that's the older generation in me. That's like, oh, it makes me think of like Battle of the Planets and Gotcha Man and like kind of
Mhm.
old school heroes in that way. Um, if I took that out of it, I would probably be like the Arctic Cat would be more like my personality.
That's fair. But yeah, the big stompy, I'm cool
I
with.
love how the feathers
Mhm.
had the feathers still fluttering. That was a nice
Again,
transition.
very Power Rangers. I'm like, yeah,
But it also
that
put the 2 scenes together very
mhm.
nicely. Yeah.
Yeah, they did put these 2 together quite well. I also love the effects of the villain leaving where she like kind of looks matrixy. I can't totally tell what her powers are originating in, but
Green
again,
energy is still
yeah,
yeah,
it's more that is zero complaint by the way. That is me just like I'm very interested in learning her backstory. Please tell me by the end of the season.
acknowledged. Blue Ranger's name is Luna, and on her belt buckle is a moon. So she's got a
Nice.
moon, and she's like, "This is who I am. Look at
Well,
me."
one thing I wanted to say as well,
Phone in pocket.
this felt
Hold on. Phone in pocket.
oh, I
It's
didn't notice that.
dumb, but I just noticed it.
I like the way that this base is structured a little bit better than the train because I feel like there were a lot of easier ways of making this feel like a base that they would hang out in, whereas a train is very hard to replicate on your own.
Yes, and this I don't know what it looked like in Zoologer. I don't know if they're going for that, but it's naturey and like they got a big
It
open
looks like a
area.
treehouse. They
Yeah, it
went,
looks.
"There's our treehouse. Here they are."
Oh,
Like
also, I'm remembering some behind the scenes. I feel like wasn't there a thing where like a tsunami or like a hurricane rather like knocked down half of their set
I
at
think
some
they had
point?
to rebuild it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. I like it. Again, very immersive. I don't know, it made me made me think of I don't know if you had any friends with tree houses, but it's
Okay.
like, what furniture is in there? Whatever furniture you found
Well,
or like got for
yeah,
free at a garage sale, like
that is true, but and I don't know if this is I don't know if this is in New Jersey. The people probably had tree houses in New Jersey, but I've heard it said that you're either a tree fort. Well, if you had forts, you're the tree fort or pit fort, and I definitely was a pit fort kid, which
mm,
meant that big holes were dug into the ground or into the side of a sand pit, and then you covered it with stuff,
yeah.
which were way inferior because anybody that walked on top of it would fall through. If there was a storm, it would just cave in. But I never set foot in a tree house, but I was in many pit forts.
I I wouldn't even I mean, it's close to a treehouse. I had myself in my backyard and some of my friends had play structures where that had like an upper level that was essentially a treehouse. It wasn't
Right.
in a tree, but
Right,
like
but it was an elevated play
it
structure.
was treehouse
It's
energy.
still a
And
treehouse, yeah.
yeah, I'm a treehouse guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm the leader, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I also people tend to not like these sort of things, but I do. When, they walk out of the room, the Apex Ranger and the new, Red Ranger, he's like, "How why do you got all these clothes?" Like, "That's a crazy story, let me tell you." And they come back, he's like, "Boy, that was a crazy story." Fine, love it, good. No
Yeah.
problems there.
And again, they didn't overham it. That
Yeah,
was the part that I appreciated. Whether you like that trope or not, it
yeah,
wasn't hammed up of like, "Oh, wow, just wait till you," like it
yeah, they just said it, yeah.
I
And they
wish
were gone
this.
long enough that he could have told them a story.
And that's true. It reminded me of the end of Forever Red, but this was better, where it was like they were going for the same thing, but that one was clearly hammy, and this one was serious because they're treating you seriously as an audience.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Orange. The more we see him talk, I love how he unapologetically is like, yeah, I goofed multiple times,
Yeah,
but
what are you gonna do? He's in now. Yeah, I mean, I would like it if he got his powers back, but at least if he stays around as like the man in the van mentor kind of guy, that's fine.
Yeah, very. I don't even want to say RJ energy because he's not that goofy. He's just, I don't know. Everybody felt like, obviously there's some aspects of their characters that are derived from other things,
Right.
but like I didn't feel like, oh, this is a cookie cutter version of this. Like everybody felt unique, which
I
was
agree.
appreciated for
Yeah.
especially a Ranger
Some were
team.
more developed than others, but you could tell who everybody was for sure.
Yes.
And again, this isn't Zenith Films, but I love these villain designs.
They do look pretty cool.
As much as I'm not into some of the weapons and mechs, like these villains are cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for the rest of this because they set up everything well. They established that, again, this is not a brand new team, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we've just seen so much of Power Rangers. I like being dropped in the middle of it.
I feel like at some point, I mean, and I guess for Power Rangers, traditionally, it's for kids. And this literally might be the first time a kid has ever seen Power Rangers. But at some point, when it's been on for 10, 20 years, it's kind of like everybody knows who Batman is. Everybody knows who Power Rangers, even if a kid's never seen it, they kind of understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the same way newer superhero movies aren't giving you the new origin of Spider-Man every time or the new origin of Batman every time they have a new actor. I feel like if Power Rangers was continuing, they should take note here that you don't need to introduce the whole concept of Power Rangers every time.
Yeah. Like even when Red was interacting with Orange in the beginning, he's like, "Why'd you save me? You're a Power Ranger. I'm not going to let you die." And you're like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah. Agreed. Oh, is that money? I just realized that's piles of money up there or coins of some sort. Yeah, the way he glows in the back.
Yeah, I feel like we saw coins before. But yeah, very solid first episode. Again, I am so excited to review the rest of this, and definitely kudos of seeing the improvement series over series. We've liked all of them, and you just continue to make us excited.
And go check them out. Go check this out. Go check all of them out. Again, my Cliff Notes TLDR excitement that I have at the beginning of any new season of a true Tokusatsu or Power Ranger season. Check. Enjoyed it. Generally speaking, overall, check. The best production, sound, whatever, consistency of all of your productions, check.
Yep.
Is it my favorite? Not yet.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
I think by the end of this, you are still going to default to having Rail Riders be your favorite, and this will probably be my favorite if it continues in the same trajectory. Also, though, I have much more of an affinity for the animal themed seasons than you.
What's my favorite season?
I'm not counting that as an animal theme season, even
Jungle
though
Fury,
it is in the name. Yeah.
You're right. It is more of a martial arts theme, but it's called Jungle Fury. They're all animals.
This is much more Wild Force than it is Jungle Fury.
True. But you're saying you like the animal ones, but at the same time,
Operation Overdrive is my favorite season.
And that one's more about like cars and treasure hunting, isn't it?
I mean, I'm just a big fan of, hopefully this is full sarcasm for anybody who's never watched this before and came here for Zenith Films and not us. I just love when Rangers quit within the first 5 episodes and then miraculously come back. And you know that they're coming back because you're on episode 5 of a 30 episode series. That's my favorite, just like in Operation Overdrive.
Also, to be clear, I do like Wild Force. That is a season I enjoy.
I have a strong affinity for Wild Force. It was like, it wasn't my last Power Rangers season, but it kind of like emotionally was, where like I caught Power Rangers after that, but I watched.
That was the last one you were fully invested from your original love of Power Rangers.
Also, that is the season that was the transition between Fox and ABC. So it holds a special place for multiple reasons. And it's just a good season. I mean,
it is a good season. But yeah, I only felt the need to say that because you're like, you don't like the animal ones. I was like, that's not true at all. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but all that to be said, we've said it once and we're going to continue to say it as these reviews happen. This is Power Rangers. It is a fan series. It is not given the thumbs up by Hasbro, but this is Power Rangers.
Thumbs up by us.
Yeah, anybody who wants to debate that it's not Power Rangers, bring it, because I will shoot that down all day long. They're making it
the same way Power Rangers are made.
And in some ways better.
Except with love. But until next time, I've been Gaspar.
I am the big dog. And Beast Unleashed, baby. Let's go. Push to the power.
It's called Beast Hunters. And when they were getting into some of the fights, they're like, time to hunt. And I realized they're not hunting beasts. They are the beast who hunt monsters.
Yeah.
They are.
You didn't get that?
Not just from the title. I didn't think about it. Like, they could have been like monster hunters, beast hunters. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't think about it until they used like the catchphrase.
Well,
I'm not as smart as some people.
aren't we all?